So, hello everybody, and welcome to the first video. Yes, this is my first ever video blog. Kind of feel a bit weird talking to myself, to be honest. Recording this on my new Lexmoto Adrenaline 125. Picked it up last Saturday from Avon Motorcycles in Bristol. I had to go down with my old man in the van. I didn't fancy riding it back, not on a 36-mile stretch all down 8 roads. No real chance to vary a speed, and the last thing I wanted to do was go straight against the manufacturer's specifications on running the engine in. At the minute I've done just shy of 250 kilometers, so I'm halfway to the first service, which is booked in next Saturday. She's going well, like, I must admit, like, she'll do 40 on just over 5,000 RPM. Less than quarter throttle, to be honest. Must be a fair bit of power in them. Well, for a 125 anyway, as much as you can push them to, I suppose. I must admit, and I'll admit it now, like, I watched a lot of Spicy's videos from when he had his Pulse and on his new Lexmoto, and he's actually probably one of the main reasons why I went out and bought a Lexmoto Adrenaline. I was looking at getting a second-hand DT or something like that, some other sort of supermoto style bike, because I wasn't really too fond on the Chinese ones. But then I read up a lot on these, and I watched a lot of Spicy videos, and I actually found out, and I discovered that these are now made in a factory in China that develop and make a lot of Harley-Davidson parts. So that actually swayed me quite a lot towards getting one of these. And the fact that the company I bought it for, I paid £1,600, that's on the road, and I got a 2 years warranty with that. That's parts and labour for the first year and just parts for the second year. Like, I couldn't really complain with that. You know what I mean? There was a lot of places around my area, especially like Fraser's and Branson's, and even Roadrunner. They wanted $4 grand for a fucking Raiju Marathon Pro, and they offered 2 years warranty and the first service free, but I couldn't justify spending $4 grand. You know what I mean? Like, it might only last as long as this one will. And as long as you take care of these, they're going to last well. Like, Spicy's got one. Well, Spicy had a Pulse that he put 40,000 kilometers on. And the only reason he got rid of that is because, if I'm correct in saying, he had an accident on it and snapped it in half. But from what I understand, it was going well. And now he's got a Lexmoto Adrenaline after he'd done his review on the Lexmoto that Lexmoto lent him when he went green lane and when he wasn't supposed to. Props for that video, by the way, I quite enjoyed that. But no, he's got one of these now, and from my understanding, I think he rode it to the Isle of Wight, or the Isle of Man, sorry, to watch the TT, I think. Or that might have been a different video that I watched on one of these, but either way, that's a long journey from like Portsmouth or Plymouth, I think, on one of these, and it got him there and it got him back, and without any issues. So I read that and I was like, fucking right, let's go get me one of these. I watched a lot of videos on the new RS4s and the new YZS, and they ain't really no different. They do the same speed, they sound exactly the same. The only difference is parts are a lot fucking more expensive, and the bike's more expensive to buy in general. Like, unless you've got some fucking serious money behind you, or you're just ignorant as fuck, why go spend $4.5 grand on a 125 that might only make it to 30,000 kilometers or 30,000 miles, when you can go get one of these, ride it exactly the same as you would ride one of them? As long as you maintain it right, you do the services and you check everything, and when you get it serviced, you make sure that the company or the garage you're servicing it is actually doing everything right, like checking your valve clearances and everything like that. Because that's one thing I got to make sure that gets done when I get this thing serviced first, because I've heard that a lot of places don't actually check them, so I'll be fucking making sure that this does get checked. But no, I can't justify spending 4 grand on a 125 that I'm only going to have for a couple years and then sell on and lose 3 grand on it, or 2.5 grand on it. You know what I mean? I spent 1,600 quid on this. You know what I mean? 2 years I'm going to go sell this. As long as everything's still okay on it. Touch wood, it will be. Like, I'm still going to get £800-900 for it. Never know, I might even get more than that because the price of Chinese bikes might go up as the quality gets better. I mean, everything's quality controlled these days. They're not made the way they used to be. They're not just made in mass production and chucked in a fucking shipping crate and sent over. They are still mass produced, don't get me wrong, but they're all tested. They're all ran. And when you get it, it is on 0,000 miles, or it might have 6 miles on it like mine did. It doesn't mean to say that the engine's never been ran. Like, from my understanding, these are probably do the equivalent of between 50 and 100 kilometers just in the factory to make sure they run okay, to make sure all the gears work okay, to make sure the engine brake works okay, to make sure everything is in tip-top shape. Because they're not, like I said, they're not made the way they used to be. They're not just made to last 12 months so you can go spend £1 grand on another one. They're actually coming up in the market. I see a lot more of these around these days. And it just pisses me off when you get people that are just like, you bought a Chinese bike, haha, fucking shit bikes, and all this. It's just like, mate, if you've never actually fucking owned one, or you owned one like 10 years ago, then your opinion is fucking way out of date, mate. You need to sort your shit out if that's the way you think. Like, unless you've actually ridden one of these, like the newer models, or you've done a lot of research into the newer ones and you've actually got a valid argument to say that these things break down. If you actually still take care of them, do all your services and you get them checked and you clean it and you maintain it, like every day you do a winter service, you do a summer service, you do your services in between every service point, you get it done, and you've got enough evidence to say that these things still break down, then okay, I might listen to you. But if your opinion's just on plain fucking ignorance from what you've heard from fucking Jimmy down the road from you because he had one for 5 minutes, then fuck off, mate. I don't really want to hear it. But anyways, I'm gonna end the video. Just want to end it by saying that I fucking love this bike. You know what I mean? I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad I didn't go spend fucking 2 grand on a second-hand bike that would have already had like fucking 15,000 kilometers on it. I'm glad I actually spent my money wisely, you know what I mean? I've had some shit fucking bikes in the past. I've had a couple RS125s, which just fucking break down on me. The first one I actually wrote off, but the second one I had for about 2 months and fucking sold it because it was a bag of shit. But this thing, I'll give you a quick walk around it before I chain it up. This thing, I love this thing. Just get my keys out of my bag so I can chain her up. I mean, it's still quite clean. I do like to keep them tidy. I don't like to see them abused. Like, I'm glad I bought it, you know what I mean? I've got no regrets in buying it. I got a lot for my money, you know what I mean? I got 2 years warranty. I paid 1,600 quid for it. Yeah, I got paid for this first service, but there's no qualms in paying 70 quid for a service. I just spent fucking 1,600 quid on a bike. If I can't afford 75 quid for a service, what the fuck do I go buy a new bike for? You know what I mean? It's not a problem. Anyways, thanks for watching.